Minnesota. I want to say I ate kangaroo. I've had ostrich. I think it's
Yeah.
I think
You guys ready?
we're ready.
All right. Hey everybody, Warriors. I am here with the ladies and the gentlemen from Delco Horror Haven. We just saw Slaughter Beach. Fantastic event. Ladies, I'm telling you, I've been having such a good time with all your events. How did you come up with this particular movie?
So, my sister sent me a text with a link to a newspaper article, and she said, "You might be interested in this." And I said, "Let me read it." I read it, and it sounded right up our alley. They were independent local filmmakers. They're out of Newcastle. Film was made in Delaware. I reached out to them, and they were on board. They were all in.
Wow. Now,
Just from a newspaper article.
so now were they receptive? I mean, what did they say? I mean, when you say I want to have your film shown in a bar in media, what was their
Well, we had a little bit of back and forth because we had the opportunity to either have it here or have it at Widener University at their Communication Studies Theater. And depending on the dates, our AV person wasn't available the first
Claude?
day. Claude. Yeah.
Big dude.
He's a great guy. He wasn't available for the first date, so we switched it over, and they really wanted to have it here, which I think they liked the idea of the movie and dinner, so like the movie tavern style. So we really wanted to make it happen here. Unfortunately, Townhouse was on board. Shane was great to work with, and we made it happen.
Wow. It was a nice experience. I liked it better than if you had it at like the media theater, because if you had it at the media theater, you're sitting here watching, right? It was very social.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea I think that you guys have, trying to get horror out to the masses, right? And have a good time doing it.
Yep.
Right? Nothing better than watching a movie, having a couple pops, meeting people you haven't talked to before about it. And we're all kindred spirits. We all like this crazy thing that we like to watch, right? And I'm having a blast. I'm really enjoying all the work you guys are doing.
That makes us feel good, because that's the goal, right? I mean, we decided to do this in January. We literally launched it January 2nd. And we're a nonprofit arts council, in a sense, but arts organization, but horror-based. And the thing is, it's all about indie filmmakers, indie authors, artisans, and the horror community, not just within Delco, but the surrounding areas, because there's really nothing here like that.
I agree.
There's a lot of different events, but nothing that's truly horror-centric. In October and September, you'll get all kinds of stuff for horror. But a true horror fan, it's all year long. It's not just for those 2 months for fall.
And we want to give, like, the filmmakers, we want to give them an opportunity to show their films in front of a group of people. You know, they probably watch it so many times themselves, or their friends and family might see it on a computer, or they might have somebody at their house to see it, which, the screen at their house could be bigger than a movie theater. But it's still nice to be able to get out and say, I made this, and share it with people. The Q&A was a lot of fun.
The
Getting to hear them talk about what a passion project it pretty much was.
It's just such a rapport amongst them.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, like, I like watching horror movies. I'm not into, like we were talking earlier, the super duper gore, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I spit on your grave and all that kind of crazy stuff. But this was fun, and that's the idea. It's there's genres within genres, and you guys seem to have a good niche for what you guys are picking to show. Now, 2 weeks ago, I talked about it ad nausea, right? They had their film fest on Friday night, part of the media film fest, and they had 7 movies. Okay, a couple of them were kind of goofy. They were funny, right? The last 2, and you guys have looked at my review from before. I went on and on and on about it. They were great. So what does it take? how do you guys pick out those movies for the short films?
Well, that's a really fun project, but it's a long project. So, for example, we just put our film submissions opened, I think it was in February.
February,
something like
yeah.
that. And so it's gonna be through June that we'll have the film submissions open. So it's short horror only, 30 minutes or less. Once everything is completed as far as the time frame for this open submissions, then we as a group, as a committee, get together and we discuss all the films. So we have to watch all of them, and then we have a rubric that we kind of grade on and score. And then when we get together, a rubric.
Wait a minute, that's a big word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
we
an
got
education word.
We got people from Darby watching this.
Solid word, I like it.
Yeah.
So a rubric is really just
Criteria.
kind of like a template of various things that we're looking for. Okay. So we score it, and then from there, it's kind of funny. Like all the scores that are high, or those films are getting in, and the scores that are on the bottom, they're not getting in. And then it's just a small little niche that when we figure out how many minutes we're going to be able to show films, then we see where it falls. And sometimes there might be a couple films that might be just slightly under, and then amongst ourselves, we kind of say, well, this one will probably play a little bit better, and we might play around with those
Yeah,
films a little
and if
bit.
there's somebody on the committee who really feels strongly about a film, they'll fight for it, and, you can win people every
Sometimes they
time.
win.
Yeah,
Sometimes
sometimes,
they don't.
not always, but sometimes. And it's fun to see, like, if you have somebody on this side who really can't stand this film, and somebody who loves it, and they go back and forth with, well, this is what I like, this is what I didn't like, and you end up here in the middle and you go, well, you know what, we have 6 minutes, and it ends up in the fest.
Yeah. And the really short films, we love to get them if they're like 2 to 5 minutes.
Like Death Umbrella.
Yes, we love Mark Parker. He is the director and producer.
If you guys remember Death Umbrella, basically it was an umbrella that came out and killed people. And it was like the swirly umbrella, like kind of seeing like Vertigo, you get hypnotized with, right? It was a hoot. It was funny.
Yeah. No, but they're like, we call them palate cleansers. Because sometimes you might have a really heavy duty film, and then we're like, oh, this is a really good 3-minute when we pop it. And Tammy, who's not here, she does all the programming for the film festival. She decides what the lineup is going to be. And then we look it over, and we usually just say, whatever you want, Tam. And so that's kind of, those films are really nice for that, because it does break it up a little bit.
I liked how the fact that you started short, longer, and then the last one that I like the best, well, I like the last two. One was Scratch, was the werewolf one, right? And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to find a link for that and post it on our site, but that was fantastic. You guys will love it.
Scratch one, too.
Scratch
That
one.
was the
That
best
was
horror.
the horror award winner, the Rufo Run
Oh, really?
Film Festival
Yeah.
award winner.
Oh, wow, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, it was a father-son team, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, and the guy that was the lead, I've seen him in other things, and the one I keep thinking, I think it's LeBray, which was a TV show.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was in that. I think he was
Oh,
the
wow.
dad in that,
Oh,
right?
look
And it
it
was
up.
funny because I was going to look it up, but then you get, and it was, he has that '70s dad look with the the pre-mullet hair,
Oh, yeah.
right? But then the next one was the troll one,
Mm-hmm.
right? Brother Troll, right? And that was fantastic too. It was all in Icelandic, right? The
Faroe
language.
Islands.
No, the language.
Yeah, it was, whatever the language is.
Yeah, well,
Faroese, I think it is.
Oh, well,
I
it's
know
all
that sounds made
Iceland,
up, but I
right?
think it is. No, it's Faroe Islands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they were speaking Faroese,
I
right?
didn't.
Right, and that was fantastic. We talked about that. I just liked how it was something completely different.
Yeah.
Right? It was sort of horror, but it was sort of suspense, right? And it got you at the end, right? I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So keep that part
Hey,
up.
That was-
you know, it had horror, it had suspense, and then it was even comedic in a way.
Yes,
It was,
yeah.
it was a little bit of everything. It was enough to keep you. It wasn't a pure horror film, but it was enough to keep you interested. For sure.
And you got, when you're watching, you kind of got like, you kind of like felt for the movie, because you felt for the brother, right, who was trying to do the good thing, right, and the other brother who was the drunk, and then and then the drunk brother ends up being the good guy at the end, right? And it was
Not by choice.
not
right?
by choice, right?
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
exactly.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, all right.
But he grew, and you like to see the characters grow.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the character development was, for a half-hour movie, the character development was fantastic.
Well, that's the
You
other
don't
thing
see
about
that.
shorts in general. It's
Mhm.
amazing what kind of story you can tell in
Mhm.
such a short period of time. I forget what year it was, but it was only a few years ago that we had one film that was, what, 3 minutes long? Oh my God.
Oh, the Beth.
Well, no, the other one, the Stalker one. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Meals.
Yes,
Swipe.
Swipe.
Mhm.
It was only about three.
If it was even
may-
3
It
minutes
might have
long.
not even been 3 minutes long, and it won. It won
Wow.
Best Horror.
Yeah.
It was that good.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
the filmmakers from the Netherlands.
Yeah, he submits usually every year. He has the best films. But that Brother Troll,
Mhm.
I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, oh man, it takes up 30 minutes. We only get 90 minutes. It's not straight up horror. It was a gamble. I was a little concerned about it, but it played really well, and that's something that you just don't know how certain films are going to play.
Yeah, and you guys did a hell of a job with that. I have to say, I was very surprised, right? Going down, I'm like, oh great, now I gotta watch another film with subtitles.
I know, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's like some people are like, I'm not watching subtitles, but
Even though I did watch Godzilla 1 with subtitles, right? You know, I made it through that, and that was a great movie. But
and you went to that because we had tickets, right?
exactly.
Yeah, well, he saw
No.
that.
That was the
Oh, I'm
Godzilla
sorry.
con.
Yeah,
That's
The
right.
con we went to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these guys, right? They can get free tickets for previews, and they got Godzilla con. Godzilla is my top movie that I'd go see. Right? It was on the IMAX, not the little IMAX, the full IMAX. Oh my God! It was a monster movie slobber knocker. That was the only way to describe it. It was like watching WWE with Godzilla and King Kong. It was the best thing. And I can't thank you guys. I saw it 2 more times. After.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
That's
Come
awesome.
on.
That's great.
Yeah. You know, I snuck in one. No. But, so you guys have a ton more events coming up. Tell me about them. That Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday, yeah, we're really psyched for Wednesday. So Wednesday is part of our lecture series at Widener University. It's Wednesday, May 1st, 7:30 at Widener. And we're having Dr. Lori Wagner, who is a professor at Penn State Brandywine. And she's going to be talking about Salem witches and Wiccans. So it's going to be a little bit of everything. It's going to compromise a little bit about the Salem witch trials, but it's also going to talk about how modern day Salem is a mecca for witches, Wiccans, whatever you may want to call it, people that just love the aesthetics of horror, macabre, whatever it may be. So she's going to do that on Wednesday, and then on Sunday, we're having Sunday, May 5th, it's the first annual Scholastic Book Fair. So kind of like the Scholastic, Lisa came up with the name.
That's fantastic.
And we're going to have 8 different indie authors there. And one of them is Brian Dubois, who has done 2 lectures for us so far. He just did Cosmic Horror in January. And last, I forget, I think it might have been June, he did like various genres of horror, just like kind of a compilation. But anyway, we'll have 8 different indie authors, and they're going to be there to sign books. They're going to possibly do some readings.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And another author was here tonight,
Oh,
Paul Coco.
yes.
He
Paul,
was-
that you sat
Oh,
with.
yeah.
So he's gonna be, he's one of our authors too.
From Norwood, good Delco guy, right? He was a scout, Eagle Scout. You got to root for him. and all his stuff too. And he's another interview I did earlier. All of his stuff's out on Amazon.
Oh,
Right?
nice.
He was
Yeah.
telling me. So that's good.
And that was so nice that he came here tonight. I had no idea he was going to be here.
Oh,
so.
he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Real, right? So a lot of people who are authors, right, are kind of introverts. I've noticed
Yes.
from people I've met, and they
We
get.
are too, can't you tell?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I'm an introvert. My mother said so. Anyway, but they get everything out, their emotions and things out in the book, right? And what he wrote, and he was really interesting. I can't wait. I'm gonna try to pick that up over the weekend
Yeah,
and see if I can see it.
Well, if you can make it on Sunday,
Yeah.
Well, I'll do my best.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah.
a hike, but.
Well, no, it's in Chester Heights, right?
Yeah, it's
Chester
Chester
Heights.
Heights,
Yeah,
yeah.
not that
It's
bad.
not too far.
No.
No.
You know, I get the long shift, I'll get out there, you know, have to get the trolley plane, you know, take Amtrak. Right. So, then you have some stuff in June also, right?
Yeah, so we also have a book club, so we've been doing that once a month. We just started it, what's this, April, last month was
We
the first
started in
time.
March, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time. We're gonna do that March through June, and then we have to take a break on that. But we're getting together, and it's what they call a silent book reading, a silent book club. So everybody brings their own book of choice, and then we literally get together, do a little round robin of like who we are, and then we just read on our own. Nobody talks. We read for like an hour. It seems like it would be really awkward, and it was really nice.
Now, you guys read the same book? or
No,
different
you
books?
bring whatever book you want. You know, we tell everybody to bring horror because,
Yeah.
you know, we're horror. Yeah, so, you know, it's weird. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I loved it.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be Monday the
And
29th.
everybody says that, oh, I wanna read more, I wanna read more.
Yeah,
But you never really get a chance to at home a lot of times. So you figure you come out, it's literally you're like sitting in a living room. It's a Paris study in Chester Heights. It's old Victorian house, very comfortable, very very calming and homey. And it's nice to be around other people when you're reading, and then you know you can tell them about what you're reading. You can get ideas for to add to your stack of TBR.
well, that's the thing, you know, you can belong to these book clubs and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna read that. And then, like she said, like Lisa said, you just never get around to reading it. So when you go here, you know, you can get an hour's worth of reading, which is really nice. But as far as June 5th, Ryan Dubois, who's done a couple of our...
Right?
Is it June 1st? No, I think it's June 5th. It's May 1st. Yeah. June
Sorry.
5th, again.
We'll settle the dates when I get.
It's June 5th. Again at Widener, and he's going to be doing a lecture. His lecture is basically going to be for indie writers, filmmakers, anybody that's kind of indie in horror and trying to make it in the media. So like for somebody like yourself, and how it's changed over the past couple decades.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to talk about that. And
How
then
to
on
get published and things like
yeah.
that.
No.
And then on June 15th, we're going to have our second film premiere called Porch Pirates with Dorian Vasquez. I think he's with Baby Goblin Productions.
Baby Goblin Productions.
And that's going to be at Widener University.
Porch Pirates?
Porch Pirates.
That sounds fun. That sounds really good.
Yeah,
And it
when
sounds
you
like
see
exactly
the
what it
flyer,
is.
yes. When you see the flyer, you know exactly what it is.
synopsis,
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And it's all Philly. You know,
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
all
Okay.
Philly. Yeah,
Cool.
it's all local.
Right, and it's sort of like, it's nice that Porch Pirates is like a big thing now. So it'd be kind
Yes.
of.
Well, that's kind of what it's a jump off from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're gonna probably,
Well,
I
we
say
have-
we're gonna lay low a little bit
We
in
have
July and August.
another book club
Oh,
meeting
right.
on the 13th, on June 13th.
Okay.
Right. And then July and August, we really need to focus on our Delco Horror Haven Invasion on September 28th.
Oh, so tell me more about that. No, so that is the continuation of the Fright Fest, right?
No, Fright Fest is no longer a program.
I know. That's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying.
But it's what we've done in the past.
Yes.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
okay.
yes, it's like, it's basically a jump off of that.
Okay.
So we'll have it all day at the Media Community Center, and we'll have probably about 30 vendors or so, food truck, raffles, all kinds of stuff like that. And then at night, we'll have our film festival. We're not exactly sure what we're doing yet. If we're doing just one night, we possibly might do the night and then Sunday. So we're still kind of,
It's still a little bit up
A
in the
work
air
in progress.
Okay.
with that. But,
yeah. But that's the premise of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all of the vendors are all horror and macabre related, and they're all, everyone creates their own items.
Okay. Like the people at Krampus Fest.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep,
If you
you'll
got-
see all of them there.
And if you guys remember when I did the thing on Krampus Fest, that was a blast also. And they had a ton of vendors inside, and it was funny because I came in not knowing what to expect. Oh my God, it was great. That was one of the best Christmas celebrations, right? And I play Santa Claus on the fire truck.
Oh, wow. Well,
Don't
well,
tell the
mark it-
kids.
Mark it for December 5th again this year,
Oh.
and it's gonna be here in the townhouse.
That's right. So you're, okay, will you guys just still walk out to the town
Yeah,
square?
we're not sure if we're gonna.
Not parade.
That's right, no
We're gonna
parading.
promenade.
Say
We're not
chasse.
Or
promenading
what is
either.
it? No, we're gonna saunter.
We're just
Saunter,
gonna
that's
stroll.
right. Stroll, yeah.
I'm not sure how that's working yet. We may go down there, or we might be able to use the courtyard here. We're not really sure, but it's definitely gonna be here, so we'll have more space.
Will that same guy that St. Nicholas be
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
God.
He's our
He
guy.
is.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's his gig. Whatever he wants to do,
He's
I'm
got
like, he's like, what do you
carte
think?
blanche.
Whatever you wanna do, Matt. Whatever you wanna do.
I still have I didn't mean to steal it, but I have the Krampus Fest, music book.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's yours.
That's yours.
Oh, I can keep it?
Oh,
Yeah, when you pay
Okay.
for a ticket, you get a book.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
although I think
He might
he
be
might be out
out.
of
Yeah, he
it.
might be out.
Okay.
I told him he has to
So you
publish
got a
more.
collector's item.
Okay, it was, I was showing that at home to my son, and my son just like shook his head. He was like,
We get a lot of head shakes.
he's like, you're really into some weird stuff. I'm like, yeah, but guess what? I brought you up. All right. But so going into Krampus Fest, for any of you guys have had just started your own LLC, started up.
We're a
on-
nonprofit.
Yeah.
No, started a nonprofit, started you guys up in January, and you guys have had nonstop events all year.
We didn't even talk about October.
Oh, tell me about October. There you
A
go.
lot planned
You know, a
for
lot going on in
October.
October. We're gonna have an FX workshop,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna have a Sleepy Hollow reading.
Oh, really?
A one-man play.
Yes,
Wow.
and I'm not
Yeah.
sure, we're gonna have a third, and we hope it's Matt, but I'm not sure what's going on with that yet,
Mm.
so, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and then we have another film premiere in November,
Oh, what's that?
The Legend of Crickfoot.
Crickfoot? Darby Crick?
No, it's, where is it? It's upstate somewhere, I forget where
Okay,
it is.
okay.
But it's not-
Hanover, I think.
Yeah, that's it, I think that's
Yeah.
it.
Okay. And for you people outside the Philly area, a crick is a creek, even though in Delco, a creek is what a door does. A creek is a flowing body of water.
It's the size of it, right? A creek is big and a creek is small.
I have no idea.
Tomatoes.
Hey, it went to the accent, you know?
It's a crick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a crick. It's like I got a crick in my neck. All right. So, going into next year, you guys, I mean, you guys.
Next year.
I'm just saying, no, you guys are having a successful year, right?
Yeah, thanks.
And like I say, I'm enjoying it, right? I've been trying to get the word out to people, right? I just want you guys to know that from me, right, I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank
And
you.
you guys are doing a hell of a
That
job.
means a lot.
You know what I
Thanks, I
mean?
appreciate it.
And you're picking up people along the way.
Yeah,
You got-
so-
you picked up a new guy.
Yes, we found him along with you. Well, we already knew you.
Wow,
But,
yeah. My reputation precedes me.
But
There's
yeah,
my
that
belly.
night after the fest, you know, both of you came out afterward, and a few other people came out, which is nice. That's something we've been trying to do the past few years after the fest. And so Jeff
I was
has a good connection.
Yeah, Karen absconded me from in front of the
Another
theater.
word, absconded, all right.
I just said to everybody that was standing outside, it looked like they were just hanging out. I'm like, well, we're all going over if you want to go over. And
I was absconded.
But
It's-
that was the first time I've closed a bar in 25 years.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, we did.
And
Shut it down.
they're like,
Shut it down, yeah.
hey, yo, it's 2 o'clock.
that's because we didn't get there till 12:30 probably.
Yeah.
But they're really
Yeah,
great
they're
that
the
they,
best.
you know, they
Yeah,
let
they're
us
really
hang
good.
and.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go in there for 20 minutes, have
Yeah.
a drink or two, and then next thing I know, they're like shutting off the lights. I'm
Famous
like,
And,
oh,
last
wow.
words.
and to be honest, I did not realize it was 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
'Cause it's fun when you get to go out with people with shared interests,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And, you know, in this niche, right, there's not a lot of people that
Yeah.
have the same kind of shared interests. It's growing, right? But I had a blast that night. It was just, I'm glad you guys invited me over.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's what
You
we,
know.
That's our tagline is we welcome the weird, so everybody's welcome at Delco Horror Haven, and I'm weird, so, you know.
You know, we met, you know, the filmmaker we met tonight, he kind of, I've never heard it this way, but it made perfect sense. He said that, like, you know, with like, horror is almost like the new punk, right?
Yeah, exactly what he said,
And
yeah.
the music being dead or whatever, it's like this is like a whole alternative kind of
that's a good.
gathering lifestyle thing that people are drawn to now that's almost kind of, You know,
Yeah.
it's not your regular norm. It's kind
Yeah.
of like it's like a niche thing, but it's growing. It's becoming like non-niche. It's
Yeah.
becoming like the opposite of niche. So.
And there's so many good little horror movies coming up.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been talking a lot about Caddyshack. I love that movie.
Oh,
Yeah. And then there was
The guy that's in it, didn't he win, like Best Actor at New Jersey Horror Con?
Oh,
yeah, for another movie he was in.
Oh, right,
And
right.
I think you guys, he was like a cherub or something. I think you guys said you had it
Yes.
for a movie, one of the shorts a few years before that.
Yeah, I can't remember the filmmaker.
He was like a crazy Cupid or something.
Oh, I can't remember.
Mike, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's his name, Mike.
Yeah. I think it was the other, and Hayride to Hell. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. That was made
No.
up in Willistown.
I've heard of it.
That
Yeah.
they did a night at the Colonial, right?
Okay.
And my neighbor's daughter was in it, right? And that was another one that was in it. They actually had they had the Malvern Fire Company was in it, right? And it was another great movie, you know. But it's a lot of local little things coming up that are going to become bigger, and that's what I think is, you know, something that's fantastic. It's a growing thing, you know what I mean? And you know, for people to get together and watch it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, wish there was a drive-in in the neighborhood. That would be great. to have
Oh,
one
you know,
down
during
there.
the height of COVID, we ended up doing a drive-in at Bates.
At Arisafa Farm.
Yeah, at Arisafa, I said Bates, but Arisafa Farms,
Oh,
yeah.
52?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We,
love Bates.
we were able to do a drive-in there, which was really cool,
It
because we
worked
couldn't
out.
have our film festival.
Mhm.
So we took the horror portion and we worked with them and we sold out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Sold out.
What was that, like 2020
Know that.
or 2021?
I think it was 2020, it's September of 2020.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
pretty cool.
nice because people were so excited to be able to get out, they could still stay to themselves.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because
But, and
you know,
again,
you're
it's
just
kind
in
of
your
like
car.
with that
you know?
silent book club, you're alone together.
Mhm.
And everybody was just starving for that.
Yeah,
It went
it was a
really
lot of
well,
fun.
we sold out. films
We would
were
love to,
really
you know,
well.
be able to do something like that again, and we tried to do it another time, and we did. The problem is, even though the weather was nice on that Saturday night,
Mhm.
it wasn't nice on Friday,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and because it's all dirt,
Yeah, yeah,
we couldn't do it that weekend.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, you know, with something like that, for that particular place. And they don't do it anymore, I don't think, but they were doing it for a couple summers. I think they were having.
Yeah,
films.
it was something they started off with
Yeah.
us, and it was a way for them, because they were closed.
Mhm.
It was a way for them to bring
Yeah,
in
that's nice.
income and,
That's
you know.
nice.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Are they still?
They're
still
out
out
there?
there.
And the body
The
shape.
filmmakers are out there
Is that the
doing kung
filmmakers
fu.
that Florida
That's
Beach
so
out there?
funny.
They were there when I was
Florida
there
Beach
earlier getting my
Florida.
jacket, and they're still there.
Well, again, they probably don't see each other as much
Yeah.
anymore
Right.
after the movie. They're probably getting together, having a good time.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it's about, having fun. All right, guys, thank you
Oh,
very,
you're
very
welcome,
much.
John.
Come here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll hug you and you later.
Okay.
Right? Dude, thank you for the beer, right? Lisa, thank you very much. You're the one that's got me in contact with everybody.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. And guys, Delco Horror Haven, they're on all the socials, right? Look them up on a Facebook. That's where I see the most at, right? And they're a blast. All right. So Delco Horror Haven and the Mad Darbarian, we're out. Thank you very, very much.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
thank you,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
fun.
That's-
Now I'll be worried when it comes out.
I think it's 20
Me
minutes.
too, I'll be like, I don't wanna hear myself.
23 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like your movie review. It was like 22 minutes.
I sat down, right, and I'm like, 1,